The Align panel gives us a way to align and distribute objects evenly along a specified axes. To open the Align panel, either click on it in the panel bar, or if it's not there, go to Window and Align. I'm just going to drag the Align panel out into the middle of the artboard so it's easier for us to work with, and I'm going to expand the options so we can see everything within the panel. So first, let's take a look at aligning objects. In order for the Align commands to work, you must have at least 2 objects selected. I've got a number of button objects on my artboard that are currently unevenly aligned. Let's go ahead and drag a selection box over all of them. Now the first thing we need to determine is what we want to align to. The options are Align to Selection, Align to Key Object and Align to Artboard. You can find these in the drop-down at the bottom of the panel. I'm going to leave it on the default Align to Selection to begin with. I'm now going to select Horizontal Align Left. This aligns all selected objects to the furthest left of the selected objects. So let's just do a Ctrl-Z to undo. Now let's select Horizontal Align Center. This aligns all selected objects to the center of the selection. OK, so Ctrl-Z again. Now let's do Horizontal Align Right. This aligns all selected objects to the furthest right of the selected objects. Next, I'm going to change the alignment option to Align to Key Object. With this option selected, then Align to Left, Centre or Right becomes redundant. All 3 buttons will produce the same results. Instead, we choose one of the selected objects to be the key object that all others are aligned to. To define the key object, all I need to do is click on one of the selected objects. I don't need to hold down any keys whilst doing so. Next, click on any one of the horizontal alignment options. As I said, they all produce the same result in this mode. All the objects are now aligned to my key object. Let's just reset with Ctrl-Z again. The final option is Align to Artboard. With this option, the existing position of all selected objects is irrelevant. Everything will get aligned to the artboard. So if I choose my Horizontal Align Left option, all the objects are aligned to the left of the artboard. If I choose Horizontal Align Center, all the objects are aligned to the center of the artboard. And not surprisingly, with Horizontal Align Right, all objects are aligned to the right of the artboard. So just like we have horizontal alignment, we also have a matching set for vertical alignment. I'll just rotate my buttons. And then I'll select Align to Selection and Vertical Align Top. The buttons are now being aligned to the topmost button selected. So there is Vertical Align Center and Vertical Align Bottom, and the same alignment options are available. We won't go through each combination again, as I think you get the idea now. Let's instead move on to the Distribute options. Distribute works in a similar way to the Align command, but instead is distributing the objects along an axis with even spaces between the selected objects. I'm just going to manually place my buttons in a vertical line with uneven spacing between them. So as with aligning, the alignment options are still applicable, but they produce slightly different results. With Align to Selection selected, all the vertical distribution options will produce the same results. So let's just click through each one, Ctrl-Zing in between to reset. So vertical distribution top, vertical distribution center, and vertical distribute bottom. You can see that with every option my buttons are evenly distributed along the vertical axis. This is a really useful feature for distributing buttons along a placket. Now let's change the alignment option to Align to Key Object. And I'm going to click on one of the buttons to make it the key object. Again, all the vertical distribution options produce the same result. All buttons are placed directly over one another. Finally, let's change to Align to Artboard. Again, the vertical distribution buttons produce the same result, evenly distributing the buttons between each edge of the artboard. The horizontal distribute buttons behave in exactly the same way, but along the horizontal axis rather than the vertical. Generally, you will use Align and Distribute in tandem, first aligning the objects together to make sure they are in a straight line, and then evenly distributing them between the selected endpoints.